I want to do one minute on brick and green before I start my story.
Brick and green?
You guys. These guys. So this is like the 1 year anniversary, right?
Yeah, a little after 1 year.
Yeah, and I remember telling the story at the very first, at the prototyping. And I just want to say a couple things about people I've met through here who are here tonight. I can't be happier that Marcia is now telling the world that she's going to be my neighbor. I live on the east end of Boston and Edison, and that runs east-west, but I live north-south. And that you're coming into the north end, it just makes me so happy. Bruno, I've met along the way. He and I have been recently sharing stories of how fun it is to sleep on a mattress on the floor, and what that does to your dating life.
What dating life?
Exactly. The hypothetical. But I really want to say thank you to Amy. I'm happy to call her and Carl friends. I've met them in the last year. I've been in your house. I don't know what being $100,000 underwater actually does for you, but whatever value it is, there's this other thing you have done, and you have this home that is welcoming and inviting, and I have met other friends there. And it's very easy for me to say I'm so happy you spent that extra $100,000, but every time I have been there, I say this is someone who is creating community, and it's exactly what I want to do with the house I'm working on Boyd Park in Boston, Edison. You are an inspiration to me and to my business partner. So thank you for what you've done tonight, but thank you for what you do for a living. All right. So I've been working on this house for a while. I've been living in a Dust Bowl, and Amy's seen it, and just lots and lots of mechanical stuff. But recently it was like, we're through inspections. It's time to do plaster and drywall. We had an amazing contractor. She comes out of the cast corridor. I'm going to see her play some kind of music at Northern Lights tomorrow. And she fell in love with the house, and she drove her people. And it took a period of weeks. And I was about to go to New Orleans for the French Quarter Festival, and they were like coming in, and I'm saying, that looks a little off, this looks a little off. And one of the guys pulls out a big light and goes, uh-oh, she is not gonna like this. And as I left, they came in to spot, and they had primed the whole house already. And when I got back from New Orleans, it was as if they had re-primed the whole house. They went over everything, and you just can't tell where plaster and drywall end. It's just perfect. And I've been living in this crappy open-walled house for so long, I just couldn't be happier. And now we're on to the next thing, which is tile on our floor in our kitchen, and it's a big kitchen. And it was wonky. We had taken out some walls, we were combining the butler's pantry, and we knew we had some leveling to do. But everybody said, we'll just put in some self-leveling concrete, tile will go down, just like that. And then we started paying a little closer attention to just how unlevel it was. And finally, Kevin, the contractor I met at Tires in the parking lot at 3 in the morning, and a guy like me has no business at Tires at 3 o'clock in the morning looking for contractors in the parking lot unless John Collins is on deck, and that was what was going on that night. And Kevin, who's conscientious and his hipster, says, I think it's going to be too much weight if we put more concrete on. I've looked at your joists, and they're old, and a couple are compromised, and I look at this floor, and it makes me sad. I'm going, no, my floor can't make you sad. Look how heavy these walls are. And this is when we start talking about, well, maybe what we really need to do is take out that island you put in that's all nicely drywalled, and maybe what we need to do is bust up that concrete and rip up the floor and put in a new floor. And that's exactly what we're doing. When I posted pics on Facebook the other day, I come home, they've taken out the entire floor. It's just joists across to the room in the back where my mini fridge is, and that's where my Diet Coke is. And I'm like, oh shit. How am I gonna get over there? But that's fine, I used to rock climb. I make it over there, I get my Diet Coke.
How did you do it?
I just walked across. Across the beams. They were relatively solid. I'm sure we could put more concrete. But so that's fine. They're in the next day and they're leveling and they're doing their thing. And I leave them because it's Kevin and another young guy who's a hipster. He's like Garrett, but he's not quite as polished. His hair's a little scruffy. And these guys, they're young and they figured out you can make a living as a tradesperson in this city. But I come in to check on them, and Kevin's like, we got a little problem. What's it? He goes, well, when we were cutting through the steam pipes, we may have cut an electric line and some lights went out. I'm going, look, my electricians can fix the electrical thing in 5 minutes. Let's get back to the part where you're cutting through my steam pipes. Because all our radiators were stolen, and we just put in all new radiators and a brand new boiler, and that stuff worked great this winter. And I'm like, what part of my steam system did you cut out? And he kind of assumed that maybe we weren't actually using our steam pipes. Which is, and and she's got some good gray matter between those ears. It was just this big brain fart that he had. And now, he did it because there was a beam that you couldn't tell was so badly compromised until you removed the floor. And ultimately, what they did to fix it was perfect, and that was going to happen. And it couldn't happen unless we at least temporarily remove the steam pipes. And his big mistake, and what inspired my greatest hustle in his whole house story is, he didn't say, well, Jeff, we had to take them out regardless, so we just took them out and we were going to talk to you about it. And he sort of took away the vote, but there wasn't really a vote. No, he just said, I didn't think they were live, which just made him look like a complete idiot. And I called my business partner, I said, you're never going to guess what they did. And he goes, what are they thinking? And that's the question, what are they thinking? Why do you cut out someone's steam pipe? Well, there was a good reason to do it. They just couldn't articulate that they had done it for a good reason. They could only come up with a stupid reason. And at this point, the money's spent, the heating company's coming back, and we all know that. And so all I can do at that point is say, well, this is my reality. How can I get entertainment value from this? And one of the things you learn if you're using contractors is the trades love to blame each other for the kinds of things they do to each other. You know, they all hate each other. And, oh my God, they hacked your beams. Oh my God, look what the carpenters did. And that goes back and forth. And I've got these great contractors who've been around a long, long time, and I've got these guys in their 20s, and they're smart, but they've got knee pads, they've got respirators, they've got lasers that are doing levels. They are way new tech. They're rolling their own cigarettes on the porch. I mean, it is like hipster city. And I call my heating company and I say, I need Dave. Like, what do you mean? Come send somebody else. I said, no, it's got to be Dave. Not because the other guys couldn't do these pipes. That's simple. Dave knows how to abuse other contractors. And I knew that Dave would be eternally grateful to me if I could turn him loose on two hipster carpenters who had just suffered the biggest brain fart of their careers. And that happened today. As it happened, Dave was around the corner on Edison, and I'm like driving the neighborhood, because actually it's a block away, I'm told. I'm like driving the neighborhood, I find his truck, I find the house he's working in, and I said, listen, I really need a favor from you today. He goes, yeah, no, I'm going to go look at your pipes. I go, no, not that. Of course you're going to do that. We're paying you for that. You really, really need to make these guys feel stupid. I saw them today, and he did his job so well. And I guess the hustle part of this is that if you work hard, you can find the joy in this, no matter what's going on. Whether you're not dating because you're sleeping on a dust bowl on a mattress on the floor, or whether because you just got a chance to abuse a couple 20-year-olds. We're going to make lots of money this summer, and they deserve it.